makakausap po natin si Professor Ranjit Rai and of course Dr. Mangahas. Andito rin po silang dalawa. At pagpapatuloy natin ang talakayan. Napakaganda kanina, napakinggan namin yung talakayan ninyo, kaninang tatlo, no? Napakaganda, napakarami naming natutunang pang-awakening, pang-gising, yung mga inyong tinalakay kanina. Pero siguro maganda nga, Professor Rai. Ngayon naman, yung pagpapakita ng mga voters naman ang ating pag-usapan. What does it tell us? Itong nangyaring gulat ba? Hindi naman gulat, Pero parang nagising tayong lahat sa choices.
May nababanggit si Professor Rai na dark horse Pero medyo maraming dark horse na pumasok sa top 12, Prof.
Yeah. In our last report, we did mention sa Octa, it's too dynamic for us to make a final call, and surveys do change. And that we were saying as early as April that there will be significant number of possibilities that could happen, and that's exactly what happened. And personally, I was surprised by the results. I knew Bam was going to win. But I didn't know that he was going to win this big.
You did? Pero kasi
nasa number 12 naman siya sa amin.
12 to 15 in your survey.
Mga surveys kasi parang within striking distance lang siya. Pwede pa siyang malaglag, hindi ba?
I mean, sa straight 12 siya. Straight 12. Meaning, so he wasn't in the range. Not just in the range, but, he was... So in the range, he was actually much lower. And then, of course, we were kind of surprised by the result of Senator Pangilinan.
Yeah.
We did say in the media that Congressman Marcoleta, at least in our last survey, had a very good chance because he was the only candidate in our survey that went up 9 percentage points. Everyone else went down. So...
Pero kung what could have happened? A change of heart with the voters? Meron ba silang pinakita in the last 2 minutes before the election?
Yeah, but the last 2 minutes, actually, almost a month. That's a long time, actually, for surveys. And for Octa, of course, I'll let Professor Mahar discuss because they have a more recent survey. We ended our survey in April, so that was it. So we had 3 weeks of nothing, really. But we were looking at the other surveys, and we were seeing the changes. We're telling candidates who were asking for information, specifically, these people who are now in the top, that the numbers are changing, and some of the survey leaders during our were really going down. So the trend was, and so at some level, surveys remain relevant and correct as far as the candidates are concerned. Now, as far as people's expectations, we're not a crystal ball at the moment yet. As we go forward and as we improve, lalo sa Octa, we will get things more accurately. But this was a dynamic election. Some people were saying wild daw yung election results, no? And maybe there's some truth to that. Yun ay talaga. Pero hindi pa ho tapos ang botohan. At tayo ho ay may partial, unofficial pa. So hintayin natin matapos.
Pero
Mr. Mangahas, we can ask Guru Mr. Mangahas, no? Because pag nakikita natin yung survey tapos kakahambing natin dito sa naging actual results, no? Parang ang laki ng gain, no, ni na Bam tsaka si Kiko. On the contrary, pinakamalaking heartbreak naman yung kay Ben Tulfo. He dropped by what? How many points? From 4th to 5th place, he became 13th place. What a heartbreak.
We learn as we go along. Di ba? Kung anong mangyayari dun sa katapusan. And if we get the majority, okay, that's already success.
Yes.
But it's not as successful as we were before. So, hintayin natin, and then let's see. And then let's survey, let's ask the right questions in our next round, because we're in the field, no? Politics or no politics, we're in the field 4 times a year, and we can ask anything we like. So we will ask again, what, when did you make your decision? And we'll see if we can ask why. But why is the hardest question to ask.
Na-factor in ba yung mga endorsements like the INC and then, the other endorsements that came in?
INC is not a big, group. INC is, I think it's smaller than the Muslim group. And we never figure out the Muslim group.
How about yung mga endorsement in Cebu Governor Gwen Garcia kay BAP? Was that factored in as well? I mean, you got a lot of endorsements?
The question about the vote is already the net after everything happens. We won't know about factor X unless we have a question about factor X. Right? And we can't think of all of those. We can think of them later. Right? But before the fact, we don't prepare that. Especially we don't, because we're not, we don't have a political agenda. Even the agenda of our sponsor, we have a sponsor. Our sponsor is Strat-based Consulting.
Yeah.
Even they, their items are not maybe the items that I would ask, but they're the ones who commission them. So we have to make do with that.
Okay.
O siguro, Prof.
Go ahead.
Yes. Siguro po, Dr. Mangahas, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Sabi ko nakita ko, tama ba ito? 98.64% na tayo?
Sa COMELEC,
hindi
yes.
Sa COMELEC
Yung
yan?
report ni Joseph kanina, yes,
Oo,
parang I saw the same
ganun
number.
na kalaki?
Tapos na ba? Ganon?
Ganun
Hindi
ba
ko pa-
kalaki? At 98 point...
I think the returns that have been submitted, no, but I don't know if
Submitted
If they have been
returns.
counted.
Pero hindi pa canvas.
Hindi pa
Hindi pa
canvas.
canvas.
Yes.
Okay.
The actual canvassing is only going to start really today. Remember, what we're seeing are just the reports coming to media, but the actual canvassing is done by COMELEC with the election returns. And what they're saying is that the actual physical election returns are only
But
coming in.
usually, Prof, kailan mo pwede nang sabihin it's in the bag?
When the COMELEC declares that it's in the bag,
Yeah, yeah.
I
But
think
I mean-
based on our laws, no.
Sige.
But definitely, what you have come out from the transparency servers should mirror what comes out in the
Yeah, but at the
electoral
rate we are going, at the rate, they are canvassing, alam niyo, yan ang iniintay ng lahat, ha?
Yung official.
Yung official.
While
Kung
we wait,
sino nanalo
while we
talaga.
wait for the official
Oo.
announcement from COMELEC,